Welcome back to another Digital Media Institute After Effects tutorial. My name is Brandon and I am the online education coordinator for our school, and I also do a little bit of instructing for our classes. And today I'm excited to share with you on how to generate fake caustics inside of After Effects using the Fractal Noise plugin. Hey, I just wanted to jump in here and say thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel. We just breached 25,000 subscribers over the weekend, and we are thrilled to have you join our community. Just a reminder, we've got a Discord, and you can find the link in the description below of this tutorial and all tutorials in the past and future. Real quick, I just want to let you know we've got a 30% off going on right now for the 4th of July for our Unreal Engine course over at tolearn.dmi.edu. It's an amazing course, and you are going to enjoy our instructor, Greg Nelson. He is going to provide exclusive content. It's going to be awesome. We can't wait to see you there. Anyway, back to the tutorial, and we'll see you. Fractal Noise is a plugin inside of After Effects that is extremely versatile, and it is one of my very favorite plugins to use. I use it almost daily for particle effects or grain or whatever it might be, but there's many different use cases for it. But today I used it to generate some caustics. As you can see here on the screen, we've got these highlighted string looking assets here on the ground generating caustics. And yeah, so let's just dive right in on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this. By the way, a quick tip: if you hover your mouse over a panel, like the composition panel here, and you hit the squiggly key, the key just below the escape key, it will bring up that panel full screen inside of your After Effects interface, and then you can hit it again to bring it back. So if I have my cursor here down in the timeline and then I hit it, the timeline becomes full screen. That's very useful if you want to see, if you got 100 different layers, right? You can always utilize that function. But that aside, let's go ahead and jump right in. This is how I created these caustics here. I'm going to jump back into my pre-comp that I have and jump into my caustics, and you can see what we're working with here. So it's literally just a 2D layer. All I did was drag in a black solid, and then I applied the fractal noise, right? You go to effects, presets, look up fractal noise, drag it onto your solid, and there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, from scratch. So I'm going to hit Control Y or Command Y on a Mac to get a solid here, and then making sure that it's black. Hit OK. Make sure that it's comp size, and then yeah, we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and search fractal noise here, and then there it is. Just drag it on to that one. And next, what I want to do is look at the fractal type, right? The fractal type needs to be strings, and you can kind of see where this is going, right? And then next, what I want to do is, let me make sure, yeah, I'm on spline. So next, you go to the noise type, set it to spline, and now we're kind of dealing with something that doesn't look like caustics yet, but you can get the picture of how this is going to be formulated for the final result. If I come down to my previous layer on the caustics, and anytime you're dealing with a plugin, if you hit U on the keyboard, right? You have the key U, hit it twice in succession, right? U. It will reveal any parameter on that layer that you've messed with, right? That you've changed or whatever that is, right? So if I've changed the opacity and I clicked UU, the opacity parameter will be revealed. So if I have a plugin like Fractal Noise and I've changed all of these settings, right? Maybe it's the complexity, the scale, the fractal type, the noise type, whatever it is, all of those parameters will be revealed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. So I'm going to go to the previous one and just click UU, and yeah, right away you can see all of the parameters that I've changed. So let's go ahead and mimic everything here. So basically, we've done the fractal type and we've done the noise type. Now let's go ahead and go to the transform. Here I've done 61 on the scale, and you get that by going to the transform, going to the scale. So let's do that here. We'll go to transform, and we're making sure that it's uniform scaling. It should be on there by default. And then next what I want to do is go to the complexity. The complexity is what makes this generating fake caustics work, right? So if I go to the complexity and I bring this all the way down, you can see, oh, it's not really doing a lot, but we have to go to the sub settings as well. And I'm going to crank up the sub influence percentage to the maximum, which is 10,000. So I'm just going to go ahead and click and type in 10,000. And now you can see what we're working with. I believe I also did 120 for the subscaling. I'm not sure if that really matters in this case, but I'm just going to go ahead and mimic that. But if I go back up to the complexity, and if I just change the complexity ever so slightly into the positive, you can't really go negative with it, but if I just change it ever so slightly, you can see it breaks. And that's not what we want, right? So we're still on 1. If we pull this up, you can see what happens, right? It definitely gets rid of our effect here, but we have to go all the way to the left, making sure that we are on 1, right? Not 1.1, not 1.3, 1. And that right there definitely gives us our fake caustics. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a really good way to generate that inside of After Effects. Now, we're going to be able to animate this using the evolution parameter here. And the way that we do that is we make sure that our playhead and our timeline is all the way to the beginning. And I'm going to go ahead and click Alt on a PC. I think it's Option on a Mac. And we're going to hold down that Option or Alt key and click on the stopwatch. That brings up a expression window here for that parameter down here in the timeline, and a really good expression to use, right? Now we're kind of getting into coding. You don't have to know coding. It's actually one of the most commonly used expressions out there, and we're basically just going to say, hey, animate over time. And that way we don't have to set any keyframes. We're just saying just rotate over time, because it's a rotate parameter. We have wheel. It's a wheel parameter, right? So we can go ahead and just type in time, and you can already see that it gives us a pre-made expressions there to choose from. We're just going to use time, and then I'm going to put in an asterisk there, and then I'm going to say, let's try 100. That is saying, at the given time, right, I'm at 0, right, at the given time, times that by 100, right, and if we go to 1, you can kind of see that it barely changes, yeah, and just over time, it's just rotating by 100 pixels, right? I think it's 100 pixels. But yeah, let's see what I did in the previous one. If I UU that, in fact, here I did use keyframes, but this is just another way that we can utilize this plugin here. If you need it to go faster, just increase your number here. So let's say 500, and then yeah, maybe that works for you. I think that's way too fast for me. I'm gonna split that into the difference there. Let's try 300. And yeah, that works for me. So you can see how we can generate caustics using fractal noise. Let's put that into our project here. So basically, we are going to go drag in our caustics that we just created. And right away, you can see that it is black and white. We need to go ahead and lighten this. We're going to use the blending mode lighten. So we drag it in, and let's just hide all of these on top for now. And then I'm going to hide my thing here. And then let's just hide the secondary caustics that we put in. I have this image that I have for a bottle here, and it's literally just an image. And what I'm going to do is unhide our caustics that we created. And a really good way to make sure that you're not creating the same caustics texture. Let's go back into caustics, and I'm going to go back into my fractal noise plugin. Here, if you go down to the evolution options, there's a random seed, and if we just change the random seed, it'll give us a different look every time. So I encourage you to do that, because if you're following along with this tutorial and you get on and you just render out a caustics texture, every single person who's used these exact settings, I believe, will have the exact same look and texture. So go ahead and change the random seed just to be different from everybody else. But let's go back to our pre-comp here, and what I'm going to do is go to the blending mode, make sure caustics is selected. Actually, you don't need to make sure it's selected. Just go to the layer and then find lighten here, and then we're going to need to make sure that it's 3D. So we're going to, there's this little checkbox here, there's like a little cube icon. We're going to check that on. That will give us our 3D, that will turn the layer into 3D. And then right away, you can see we have our axis here. And if we go to the rotate tool, and we can rotate this on the x-axis, I believe. So if we, or yeah, hold on. Let's just go ahead and click Y to bring up the rotation tools. And if we go to the x-axis, we can rotate this in X. I'm going to rotate this to minus 90 degrees. And then what I can do is go up to my selection tool, or just hit V on the keyboard to grab the selection tool. And then I'm going to drag this down like so, and just kind of eyeballing this to where it's not hitting the background, and it's at the bottom here like so. And yeah, there you go. That right there looks good to me. I hope you had fun learning how to create fake caustics inside of After Effects. If you've generated this in the future for a project, we would love to see this. Quick reminder, we have a Discord, so we would love for you to join our Discord. You can find that in the description below. We look forward to meeting you. If you have any questions, please reach out and let us know if you have any questions. And so, yeah, basically, when all things are said and done, and you generate your caustics, and everything is ready to go. You can definitely see here, let's not have all of our text layers on. There we go. We're going to use timeless. There we go. Right. It just kind of looks fitting, right? And yeah, we've got some particles. We've got some underwater sun rays happening. And yeah, what I did is I added a cylinder effect to our logo here and just kind of animated that and scaled it and fitted it around a bottle. It's very, very easy. I'm sure you can figure it out. But yeah, anyway, if you have any questions, let us know. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.